I get a lot of questions about memory improvement and music. What kind of music should you listen to improve your memory? What kind of music do I recommend for memory improvement? And what kinds of memory practice techniques can you use while listening to music? If that's interesting to you, that's all coming right up. Hey there, this is Anthony Metivier from magneticmemorymethod.com. This is the website that is devoted to giving you the ability to use your memory to remember the information that will improve your life immediately. No waiting around. You just need to do a little bit of training, and that's what this is all about. So if that sounds good to you, hit the thumbs up, get subscribed to this channel if you're not already, and let's go. Music. Yes, music can probably improve your life, although listening passively to music maybe not be the path for that. I don't know. But in general, there's no fantastical shortcut. I can't find any research whatsoever about binaural beats or this or that track helping you improve your memory. There are certainly lots of videos you can watch on YouTube that are just music, and they're playing and playing with the idea that it's going to help you with your studies and all that sort of stuff. Really? I don't know. It sounds like a little bit of a fantasy. And of course, fantasy is normal. Desire is normal. People want the easy road. But actually, ease comes from mastery of skills, right? So you can listen to music and it may improve your memory or not. I don't know. I can't make any claims. I can't find any research on it. Can't find any evidence on it. And I certainly cannot find anything in my own experience where I can say, listening to this helps improve my memory. Because memory is improved by training it, by using it, and by directing it at information that improves your life. There's no getting around that. And why even try? It's so much fun to just submit to that. As Tony Buzan once told me, I was sitting there with dinner, he said, the rules will set you free. And that's very, very true. So if you can just submit yourself to a memory palace technique, to having a good major method ready to go for any numbers, and to be able to number your memory palaces very, very easily, then you're going to be so far ahead of the game that music won't matter. But in terms of how you can train with music, this is something that I've done, and it's very, very interesting. So imagine you've got some information that you want to memorize. In my case, I did a lot of experiments around card memorization, which is a great way of exercising the brain, learning more about the techniques, and enabling yourself to have an absolutely laser-fast memory. And so I would listen to Slayer, for example, really loud, aggressive, fast, and so forth. Then I would listen to Slayer in cafes that are really loud, and lots of people think things going in and out of your visual field. Actually sit in the window, watch the street go by, the traffic, the cars, and memorize cards. Also, I do it on the train while things are going on and you're worried about terrorist attacks and all that kind of stuff, and listening to Slayer, right? So it's really, really interesting to do that. It's kind of like the equivalent of putting on a concrete backpack while you're doing push-ups, right? So there's different levels of difficulty in push-ups, and one of them is just to add additional weight to your body, and then away you go. Boom, boom, boom. You're obviously going to find lighter push-ups a lot easier, and in memory techniques, that can be the case. It can be the case. So it's really, really important to understand that it can be the case, because you also have a benefit from practicing these techniques with silence. So I often also use earplugs when I'm reading a book, even if I'm in my quietest apartment and there's no one around, it's night, nothing happening, or early morning. I love to be up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and I'm just reading away. I'll still wear earplugs, even to damp out the slightest sound, right? Because it creates this focus. It's like a cocoon with the book. It's very, very powerful. And the other thing about that is that you can also work on silencing inner music, right? So, for example, I get a lot of earworms and so forth, and I've learned how to actually silence it by replacing it with other music, and that comes to do with practice with something called Kirtan Kriya, which is Satanama, and also things like Sanskrit chants, so Chitameva Mahadosham, like that. And it goes longer, of course, but then these little melodies are great ways of replacing earworms. And those little melodies are also internal. They're very good for creating focus, but then dissipating the interruption of the music that you're creating in your head. So the point here is that when you have some music or sound external to you that is interrupting you, then you can interrupt the interruption by choosing a different internal melody. So that's another way of thinking about memory and memory improvement and music with memory improvement for focus, for concentration, and remembering better. And I found that very, very powerful in my life. And I often, just right now, I'm running through some Sanskrit singing in my mind, and it does help me focus, even though I'm dual processing. I'm doing a couple things at the same time. So that's powerful. Then there's the actual memorization of music itself. And this is really great as well. So you may have seen a live session I did before about memorizing music and notes in the Magnetic Memory Method Masterclass. There's more. If you know the major method, if you know how to use a memory palace, then you know how to use the guitar or the piano or the trombone or possibly even the saxophone or the flute as a memory palace, maybe even the trumpet. I say maybe with those things because I haven't tried it with saxophone or flute or trumpet. I haven't done it with any keyed instruments in terms of brass or woodwind. But I have done it with piano and I have done it with guitar, and I can see in my mind how it would apply to trombone, because every position on a trombone can be numbered, right? And if you have the major method, then you can use those numbers to help you memorize the notes that you need to play, the order in which you need to play them, even the duration of the seconds, and so on. But it's just a matter of getting the foundations first. Don't put the cart in front of the horse. A lot of people, they think and imagine of all the possibilities of what memory techniques can do for them and will do for you if you master the foundations, but they never get there because they don't have a solid memory palace strategy. They don't have the major method to use inside of and as part of creating great memory palaces, and so they never get to that wonderful moment where you get to meaningfully explore what's possible for you. And we got a recent chat we did here on YouTube with Jesse Villalobos, and I'd love for you to listen to that because we talk about just how far you can go with these techniques and the realizations, the epiphanies that come from having a solid, grounded practice in the foundational techniques, the memory palace, the major method, using them both together. Then the world's your oyster, and the question of what music will help improve your memory doesn't matter, right? Because you've got something more powerful than that. You've got the music of memory on your side, the actual notation of writing what you want to remember into your mind and being able to recall it with laser-like precision, with laser-like speed. Boom, boom, boom. Simple as that. It's easy, it's fast, it's fun, and it's effective. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that thumbs up. Get subscribed to this channel if you aren't subscribed already. And if you'd like free memory improvement training, head over to magneticmemorymethod.com/YT. Links in the description below. It is a free course. It does require you to do some homework, and that's it. Well, it doesn't require you to. There's no homework police, but it does help if you actually do, because memory techniques come from doing. That's the DOC principle of the Magnetic Memory Method. Doing is the origin of creativity. Doing is the origin of control. Doing is the origin of confidence. Doing is the origin of consistency. Doing is the origin of the courage that you need to continue to explore. And it'll give you all the energy that you need to drive you, to motivate you, to keep you going, so long as you SIP. Take it one sip at a time. Study the techniques, implement the techniques, and then use these memory techniques to practice with the information that will improve your life. That's it in a nutshell. So I hope you'll take me up on that free course at magneticmemorymethod.com/YT. Until we have a chance to speak again, thank you very much for your kind attention, and keep yourself magnetic.